Welcome to another episode of Greatness Quest. It's your boy Trevor Crane, and today we're going to be talking about compliments versus criticism. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Cowboy.
Welcome to a daily dose of Greatness Quest with your host Trevor Crane, my daddy. He is going to help you take your life and business to the next level.
Here I come to save the day.
Trevor Crane here, 11-time #1 best-selling author and the founder of Epic Author Publishing, coming to you live every day so you can plug in every day to build your ideal business so you can live your ideal life.
If my daddy can do it, then anybody can do it because he's a weirdo.
It's supposed to make me sound cool. So I'm out at a park right near a lake in our community. So we've got a little lake back there that I sometimes will shoot my podcast in. I was just driving home after tennis, and I decided that I would pause for a moment because something just showed up for me that was really cool. My wife and I have started playing tennis together, and the other day the tennis instructor said to me that he didn't think my wife should keep attending like the Tuesday class. He said, hey, I think the Monday, Wednesday is going to be better for your wife, and you might want to tell her. Well, the thing is I have a feeling that he was sharing it, that she wasn't good enough yet for that class. Like, she's just as good of an athlete as she is. Apparently she's not hitting the ball the way that he wants her to or whatnot. And I was like, I go, uh-oh. Like, that's a criticism. Like, I know my wife, and if it is not a compliment, it is a criticism. And so there was no way on God's green earth I was telling my wife that. So the poor tennis instructor told my wife that the next time she came to class. And this is something that I haven't actually shared with my wife. So we'll see if she ever catches on, if she's paying attention to my podcast or not. But she came home one day, and she went to tennis without me. So one of the days that we were just taking turns, she went to tennis lessons and I didn't. And this was the day that apparently he's told her the same thing. Like, hey, I recommend these classes instead of these classes. And although he didn't say anything negative, and my wife mentioned this, he didn't say anything negative to her. He just said, I advise these classes instead of these classes because you will do better there and whatnot. But my wife did not hear a compliment, so she absolutely heard the criticism. And so what happened was she was bummed and she was upset. And I tried to cheer her up. I tried to, in a variety of different ways, to go ahead and help cheer up, if you know what I mean. Tried that. No go. She was just pissed and upset because what she heard was not a compliment. So here's my challenge for you, is to think of who you know in your life that thrives and responds on compliments. I remember a Chris Rock stand-up thing where he said women need food, water, and compliments. And this is absolutely my wife, to a T. She needs food, water, and compliments. So I would just guess that there's got to be a woman in your life that could use more compliments, because here's what happened 2 days later. My wife and I are back at tennis with the instructor. And after we had a private lesson with him, and after the class, he pulled us aside and said, you guys are both really healthy. You're both great athletes in general. You will be phenomenal tennis players if you have the patience to just trust me. So trust me, and don't just try to hit the ball hard. Don't just try to win. And so he gave us this pep talk, which was so needed from my wife's perspective. So she came home on cloud 9, all because she got a compliment versus a criticism. So here's what I learned, and I just was coaching myself and talking about this recently because I was asking the same question that I'm asking you to focus on, which is, where else in my life can I use this? And so I'm looking across my life personally and professionally, the people that I know, whether I know them yet or they're new prospects or clients or teammates or partners. And I'm thinking how much better it is to use compliments instead of criticisms. Now, oftentimes, people will take my feedback that I give them as a criticism. Why? Because it's not a compliment. Now, it's not all the time. I'm not that aggressive of a coach, although I can be when I'm working with someone, depending on what they need. But I know that I want to be nurtured inside. I know that I want more love and attention. I know that there's a little boy or a little girl inside of each of us, and that's what needs to be nurtured. So as I looked at my body, my being, my balance, my business, I am taking on the personal challenge of intentionally using compliments to improve my communication with others. Intentionally using compliments to improve my communication with myself. So in the context of my body, to be more complimentary and more acknowledging the progress that I've made, instead of just beating myself up that I have a little bit I want to do, that it doesn't always have to be pushing to the next level. Sometimes it can just be the appreciation for what I've got. And then genuine compliments. Because the truth is inside of us is that little kid that hears the criticism when it's not a compliment. So it happened to my wife in tennis. It happens to my wife all the doggone time. She's a dramatic example in my world of somebody who absolutely, if I don't share with her the compliment, she hears the criticism. So I'm very conscientious of this anyway. Because of that, I love my wife. This is one of our communication patterns. I'm sure you have yours with your significant others and the people that are in your life. But take on the challenge today of just trying to improve your communication. Because oftentimes what we hear, and I'm saying I'm doing this to myself, how I communicate to myself, and how I'm choosing to communicate this with others. So with this lesson, I'm going to choose to connect with my team better, to use more compliments versus just always coaching and analysis and how can we make this better? How can we make this better? How can we make this better? That's oftentimes what I'm focused on. I'm like, man, because I know it's great already. How can we make it better? How can we make it better? Like, that's exhausting. And why not just focus on the compliments? And this was a dramatic example for me and my wife to see her lit up. We come back after tennis, after she got compliments, not from me, which she gets compliments enough from me, I think. I know I can do more. But she got compliments from her mentor, from somebody she respects. And she came back thrilled. And here's, I guess, another side of this. As I wrap things up and I'm walking back to my car over here, is to think about how you are taking feedback. Because maybe the feedback you're getting is just feedback. Maybe you have a tendency to get upset by the feedback that you get from others, which is just potentially honest feedback, and what you were hoping for was a compliment. Like, why do I meet with people about their books and they start telling me about their good ideas? Oftentimes, all they want to hear, the only thing they want to hear is confirmation that it's a good idea. They don't want to hear me talk about how they can make it better. They want to hear how brilliant they are and what a great idea it is. So that's not always the case. I mean, sometimes we have great ideas, and they're not that great ideas. They're like that's why you have a coach and a mentor to help you, and they go ahead and say, that's good, brother, but how can we make it great? And if you're finding that to be a criticism that upsets you, then maybe you're being a little bit too sensitive. Maybe you should look at it and challenge yourself to transform the meaning so that you can go ahead and get the value in the lesson instead of just getting upset, right? Because who wants to be on an emotional roller coaster when you get a compliment, you're high, and when you get criticized, you're low? That sucks. Like, I really do my best to not do that. Like, I love a compliment, and I can't wait to receive my next one. And I will say thank you, and I want to give gratitude and appreciation for a compliment when I get it. But I don't now want to be in a good mood. Like, I'm waiting for the weather to get good for me to be happy. And then I just hope nobody criticizes me, because then I'm gonna be sad. Oh man, that's exhausting. I didn't get a sale. They said they were gonna do it, and they didn't do it. Oh no, I'm having a bad day. What the hell? I don't know why people do that to themselves. I do my best to not let myself get carried away about the phenomenal compliment. Sometimes the people that compliment you the most today, and they're like, oh my God, where have you been in my life? You're so amazing. I love you. You're amazing. Is the same person that tomorrow will burn you at the stake. Because for whatever. So I don't get too caught up on the highs or the lows of somebody else's opinion of me. That's a whole nother subject. But it actually does show up here, because you and I can have maturity and go ahead and own it and know that we are freaking awesome already. And now we are trying to become more awesome. And sometimes you will do awesome, and sometimes you will suck. But anything worth doing well is worth sucking at first. And so don't get too caught up if you suck at something right now, or somebody says you suck. Because if you're doing anything and you're doing it right, someone someplace is going to tell you how much you suck. So I don't know how this got into me crying and being going on my high and low emotional roller coaster right now, but I felt like it. All right, so that's all I got for you today. My challenge for you is to figure out where you can take this lesson and apply it in your own life, in your body, your being, your balance, your business, your professional life, your personal life. Hopefully you're enjoying this podcast, and what I share with you is working for you as well. Talk to you soon.
To get even more awesomeness, which means all my best stuff, download my app by texting Trevor to 36260. It will show up right on your cell phone. Just text message the word Trevor to 36260. Talk to you soon.